Okay, this is a video on how to use Canva. So this is not Canva Pro, this is the free version. You can access it by just looking up Canva on Google, create an account so that everything you do is automatically saved, just like in Google Docs. You don't have to go through the process of like making sure everything's saved. Just automatically saves as long as you have an account. And again, everything in this video is free. Okay, so this first page here, this is the home page. So on the left, you have your navigation bar. So right now I'm at home. And so this is where it'll show everything that you've created in the past. And if you just created your account, it will be blank. And then up here is just some different options of things you can create. Then you have projects, templates. Templates is really cool. It kind of depends on what you want to make. So if you want to if you want to make a presentation, just have it look really pretty, that's here. There's different ideas that people have already made. So if I click presentation, here are a bunch of different editable templates. And so all of them that have the crown, that means you have to have the Canva Pro subscription. And even if it looks like you can edit it and it'll load in, you can't download it and everything will have a watermark. So you can't use anything that has the crown unless you have the Canva Pro subscription. So it does look like a lot of these, if not all of them, have the crown. But there are plenty that do not have the crown. Um, so there's presentations, posters, something that I think is kind of cool is the brochure if you want to do like an infographic, like a pamphlet, on a treatment or something. Business card. We had thought before about doing like using that as a template for like little identification cards, like for aphasia or those kind of things, just with like name and number. And so there's already people have already made designs. So if I click on business card, um, again, the ones that have the crown are pro, but the ones that don't have the crown are free and editable. See, this one's free. Um, so that's the business card. The one that I use the most is Flyer. I've just found that it's the easiest I don't know, I'm just used to working on that template. Um, but so also another thing that's cool about the template page is that up here you can search millions of templates, like it says. But so if I had like a four things that I wanted someone to do, I could look up four step and then here, there's a bunch of things that people have already made that are four steps. These you'll have to pay for, but these don't have crowns, so I could download these and edit these. Um, so just if you don't want to like start from scratch, I think that's a really cool feature and it's free. Um, okay, then down here, I don't use those. Okay, so going into how to make stuff. Um, you can either go to create at the top, and choose what kind of a thing you want to make. I always go for flyer. Um, or you can go to templates and then select from there. I want to do whatever you want to do. I want to do a flyer, um, or and just use a blank one or one that someone's already made. Or you could go home. And if you already have something, like all semester I was adding to this visual aids folder. So if I click into it, and then I can go, once it loads, scroll all the way down, and I can just add another page by clicking here. So then it's still in that same folder. Um, and then you can also name each page right here. Um, so that when you download, if you just want to download one page, it'll download as what the page was named, not the whole entire folder. Um, okay, but so if I want to make something from scratch, I'm just gonna go to create, and then I'm gonna do a flyer. Okay, so now the navigation bar has changed. So you have templates at the top, which again, you can still load in um, template ideas or you can generate them. Then you have elements. So this is anything that's going to be on your poster, like shapes, images, anything like that. And then text if you want to add words to your poster, and then uploads if you want to upload your own things. So how you would do that is go to upload files, um, and then you would just choose them from your computer and then open, and then it would load in. And then you just click it, and it automatically carries over to there. Um, so I'm gonna go back to elements. So I'm gonna make a little design. So let's say I'm gonna go to shapes. And I have all these different shapes to choose from. And none of them have the crown, so they're all in the free subscription. So I'm going to go ahead and use a square. And so when I click it, it automatically pastes over here. Um, so every time I click on an element, this toolbar up here, just it's shows everything that you can edit for the element that's selected. So when I select this element, I can change the color, I can change the stroke style, which is just the border weight. So here, the literal border around it, if I want the border to be thicker or thinner, if I want it to be dotted, or, whatever I might want, or if I want none at all. Then I can round the corners here, corner rounding of my shape. I can add more sides to it, make different shapes. Um, I can change the transparency. So if I want it to be really transparent and then write something over top of it, I could do that. And if I want to see exactly where my element is on my page, I would click position. And then I can see, okay, it's on this x-axis, this y-axis, it's this width, this height. So when I'm changing the width and height and I'm going like that, I can make sure, okay, yep, it's still the same. So it's a square still. It's not slightly off. And you can also lock your ratio. Um, and then if I had multiple shapes and I want to make sure they were aligned, that's where like the x and y axis would be helpful. Um, So if I can also rotate the shape right here, rotating it, and you see that also shows over here, and this is under position. Um, if I want to get it back to 0 there, or I can physically type in here too. Um, so let's say I want to change this to a white background, and I want to make the border one thick. So now I have a square that looks like that. So then let's say I want to do, um, so now that we have a shape on our page, I want to add a design. So I would just look up, maybe I want a tree. Okay, so all of these have crowns, so they're pro. So can't use those, but I like this tree. I just click it, it pastes over, and then I can change the sizing of it. And this is what I think is really cool, is that you can change the colors depending on the element. But so right now I have this element selected, and up here is everything I can change about the element. So I can change the colors. So if I didn't want it to be this kind of a brown and I wanted a different brown, I can change it. I can change the shade of brown. I can change the shade of green if I want it to be a really light green. Um, and I can, um, yeah, and so I could also, so then if I want to put this right, so now something that is, so now if I want to make this bigger, make this big, and I want the tree to go inside the box. Okay, and then these lines are showing me that it's even. Now I want this to be locked together. I can group them by just dragging from this corner outward and then clicking group. And that groups everything together. And then I can just touch wherever and move it. So that's why the back arrow is great because I accidentally just stretched it. But I can also lock it so that I can't do that. So there's grouping and locking. So grouping makes it so all of the elements, like the tree and the box, are moving together no matter where I touch. Locking makes it so the groups, like everything is locked together, so I can't like make it bigger or smaller anymore. I can just, it's just one element, and I actually can't even move it around the page. It's just locked there on the page. Um, okay. If I wanted to duplicate this element, I would click here, duplicate, and it's the exact same thing. Um, and this one I can change the size of. Yeah. If I wanted to add a text box, that's when I would go to text, and then I would just click add a text box, and then I can add whatever text I want. Um, time. Time for the park. And then I can select it all and make the font big, bold it, italicize it, underline it, strike through, whatever I want. I can change the color of the text. Um, Alignment, I can make bullet points. Um, I can position. So let's say I wanted um, yeah, so let's put it here. Let's say that I wanted this box to line up perfectly with this box, and I wasn't exactly sure. Like it's pretty obvious right now because the line is showing it, but if I wasn't sure and I wanted to make sure, I would click it, click position, and then 0.85 is the X that this element is on, and 0.85 is into the X that this element is on. So now I know that it's the same. Um, So I would that's how I would do it from scratch. And then the more comfortable that you get with all the elements, the faster it will go. And then if I wanted to edit something that already existed, um, I could go home and then go to templates. And let's say I want a flyer. And I want this flyer to be for a four-step something. So um, I could use any one that doesn't have the crown on it. So let's say I wanted to use this one. Okay, customize this template. So now I have it here. And every single one of these things is an element that I can edit. So anytime you see the purple box, that's something different that you can edit. Again, if you want to group them together, because if I just grab this and move it, I can separate it. Back arrow. But if I want them to be locked together, you hold down Shift and then click, and then I can group, and now all of these things move together. Um, so then I can, to edit, I would just click. Now I can edit the color here of the words. I can even edit the back color here. Whoop. I could edit this color of the circle. I could, if I want to get to the words and I can't get to the words right now, I would go to, well, you could double click like that. Or you can go up here to position and then layers, and you see all of your elements and if they're layered in front or behind. So, um, where is avoid? You can also double or right click and then layer and then send backward or send two back. Sending backward is just going to send it back one layer. Sending it two back is going to send it to the very back of the design. So if I just send it backward, now it's behind this white piece here. I'm going to undo that. So there's a lot going on. But once you get comfortable with it and start playing around, it is a pretty easy, like user-friendly interface. So now I can see all of my different things down here. Um, and then you can make a copy, delete, whatever. I'm just gonna delete. So I delete these. Then I have my visual aids. Okay, so this is a folder that I made that has a bunch of stuff in it. So let's say that I wanted to download my design. I would go to share, download, and then you can choose what file, what form you want it to be in. So do you want it to be a JPEG, a PNG? A PNG is good for if you're going to send it to someone and they have Canva, they can edit it that way. A PDF is good for printing, and so people can't like the font or the format won't get changed. And then PowerPoint is great for editing for people who don't have Canva or just if they just want it in one big PowerPoint. That's great. It does change the format a little bit, but it's nothing crazy. So whenever I share, I do PDF because it doesn't mess with the formatting. And then you would just, so then you could go, okay, so if I wanted to download as a PDF, and then I can go, you can download all of the pages or this page or custom. And then you would download, and then it will download to your computer. And if I just wanted this page, it would just the download would be named the page um, name here. So not the name of the whole folder, but the name of the page that I'm downloading, which you can add page names here. If you want to just share it through Canva with someone else, you'd go to share and then you can just add their account here. Um, yeah, but that's kind of everything in really condensed. Um, but I could also make another video showing me making the whole process of me making a visual aid. If you wanted that. Um, but yeah, that is Canva Pro. Or not Canva Pro, that's Canva.